Grammy host Trevor Noah is getting canceled online and in person for some very insensitive jokes that he made about President Donald Trump and illegal immigrants. And honestly, I'm not really surprised. The controversial comedian wasted no time taking digs at a number of famous faces, including Donald Trump. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the clip because we're not going to contribute to this guy's views, but he said, "We're going to be honoring the best in music as voted on by the 13,000 members of the Recording Academy and 20 million illegal immigrants. And tonight, no matter what happens, history will be made." Now, of course, he was referring to the recent deportations of undocumented immigrants following Donald Trump's presidency. Grammy winner Doechii, let me know if I'm mispronouncing the name, definitely was not happy about the joke from Trevor Noah. In fact, there's a screen grab of her going around with the singer noticeably rolling her eyes after this joke. Social media wasn't very happy either, and Trevor soon started trending on X. So here's what people were saying. The tasteless joke about illegal immigrants was just so unnecessary. Do better, Trevor Noah. Another claim that their mother has the Grammys on and already turned it off with Trevor Noah making a Trump joke not even 5 minutes in. I guess the comedian didn't get the memo. The American people don't want celebrities telling them what to think or, for that matter, who to vote for anymore. Case in point, Kamala Harris's campaign read like a who's who of A-list talent about to walk a red carpet or attend Vanity Fair's famous post-Oscar party. Oprah Winfrey, Megan Thee Stallion, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, Bruce Springsteen, and many, many more. And yet the Democratic candidate lost to President Trump big time. So yeah, a lot of people are saying that the era of celebrity endorsements is over. The American people, we're just not buying it anymore. But still, anti-Trump leftists still can't stop spreading disinformation, all to make their skewed worldview make sense. In fact, in Chicago last week, local Democratic leaders stoked panic over claims that ICE agents had shown up to local elementary schools. But as it turns out, there were no ICE agents at the school. They were Secret Service agents looking into a threat against a government official. And celebrities like Trevor Noah, they're just adding fuel to the fire here. Maybe it's time we start doing some of our own canceling of our own, huh? What do you guys think? By the way, appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Thank you so much for sharing this video and subscribing. You guys are absolutely amazing. So first, let's take a look at the 5-time Grammy host and political comedian Trevor Noah. Guys, the guy thinks he's real slick as he dug into Donald Trump's immigration policies in the first 10 minutes of the ceremony. He was born in South Africa, and his first joke, there's been a few changes in Washington. So he's going to enjoy tonight because this may be the last time that he gets to host anything in this country. So that was his way of basically saying that he's a criminal migrant. I mean, how else am I supposed to take this, right, guys? Because from what I heard, the recent ICE raids have only really been targeting illegal immigrants, or more specifically, migrants guilty of crimes. That was not Noah's only Trump joke, though. He mentioned Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour announcement and said, "Beyonce, there's tariffs. We can't afford a new tour. Maple syrup's about to go up to $50. Now, again, glossing over the facts of the matter. I mean, sure, Trump announced 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico and an additional 10% on goods from China. But the president also explained on Truth Social that it will be all worth the price that must be paid. And so this is why people are reacting negatively to the comedian on social media right now. One comment that I read said that if Donald Trump gets Trevor Noah banned, they ain't gonna be mad. Another person agreed, saying, "Bye-bye. We need someone better hosting." So yeah, consider this a warning to all these celebrities trying to stay relevant. Mess with our commander-in-chief and you may just find yourself ending your own career just like Trevor Noah. Drop a quick yes in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys agree with what I'm saying so far. One thing that the American people have learned from the recent presidential elections is that celebrity endorsements are long dead as a campaign strategy. Just see what happens with them. Watch.
This is history, Cardi. Can you? I swear to God, my academics. You up. Like, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of. Get away! Get away from me! I'm gonna burn your hats.
Is it any wonder that people didn't take the word of this woman for who they should vote for? And another rapper, Azalea Banks, who likes to stir up a bit of controversy online. She's a pretty good troll, but she had endorsed Kamala Harris, had said on X that she was going to vote for Kamala Harris. Well, she's now said, sorry, gotcha. She's posted a photo on X of her ballot paper showing that she did, in fact, actually vote for Donald Trump. How good is that? I mean, she, like a lot of the country, I think, woke up. You can see it there. She's filled in Trump, just posted it, said, sorry, I lied. She woke up and went, no, I got this wrong. I don't think she was the only one.
It's the first time I realised that a rapper like Azalea Banks has so much in common with Jill Biden and Joe Biden. I think they did the same thing.
I'm pretty sure that they did vote for Trump. But this has got to be the death of celebrity endorsements. I have never seen more celebrities, the most famous names you can possibly mention, from Taylor Swift to Beyonce. We're talking about the most famous people in Hollywood, in the Superstar Dome, anywhere in the world, endorsed Kamala Harris. And it has fallen so flat. We've all seen the very comprehensive win. It's got to be the end of it. It's got to be the end of it. People aren't listening to you. They can see what's fake. It doesn't matter how many millionaires, even billionaires, all these people are rolling in dough, and they're talking to Americans that are hard up. I can't count the amount of videos I've watched of everyday Americans crying, saying, my husband's never worked harder and we can't make ends meet because of inflation, because of interest rates. We are not coping. I can't buy the kids presents. I'm putting socks back at Walmart. And they roll out these millionaires who haven't lived an everyday person's life for years and years, at least for as long as they've been famous, to preach to the everyday American as to how they should vote. It's disgusting. It should end. And I hope this will be further proof, like we needed it, we already know, but proof on the world stage, this does not work.
Or as my uncle likes to call them, a bunch of useless phonies. Now, I have to agree with him. I mean, Kamala Harris's A-list backers couldn't have been any bigger. We're talking about names like Oprah Winfrey, Megan Thee Stallion, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, even Bruce Springsteen. Even the world's biggest current star, singer Taylor Swift, got behind Kamala Harris. Can you believe this, guys? And she still lost. And so what did all this megastar wattage even amount to? A whole lot of nothing. In fact, some experts even argue that the celebrity endorsements just reinforce an idea of a Harris campaign out of touch with ordinary American concerns, especially with the current economy and everyday Americans just hurting from inflation. I still remember it. Hours before polling day, Lady Gaga, Winfrey, Ricky Martin, and The Roots joined forces for a Harris rally and Vote for Freedom concert on the steps of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Stevie Nicks in Harris is our great hope to save the world, and she might play Harris's inauguration. Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, George Clooney, Lizzo, Katy Perry, John Bon Jovi, and Cardi B all appeared for the Democrat. Of course, after a large check was written to them. But what do American voters remember from all that? That $1 million of Kamala Harris's campaign cash was used to pay Oprah Winfrey's production company, possibly even more than that. The campaign also paid for a reproduction stage set for Kamala Harris's sit-down with the Call Her Daddy podcaster Alex Cooper. I mean, Kamala Harris even appeared on a Vogue cover as voting began. Now, sure, this might be a nice photo for the mantelpiece, certainly, but not really the right message considering the anti-elite voters concerned with paying grocery bills and rent, right? I think President Trump said it best here. We don't need a star because we have policy. The Democratic consultant Hank Sheenkuff, he expounded on it a little bit more, saying how celebrities don't make people feel anything. All they do is add a shimmer to the event without giving people what they really want, policy and direction. Really, the bottom line here is that neither Harris nor her A-list celebrity associations were any match for a reality TV star like President Trump. His campaign was his own star with 2 near-miss assassination attempts and rallies where the candidate was the main celebrity draw. Robert Thompson, director of the Bleer Center for Television and Pop Culture, he said it pretty well. Celebrity endorsements can get people to buy shoes and fragrances and certainly influence hairstyles. But when it comes to getting people to change their mind about politics, and especially the president of the United States in an election where people have for 8 or 9 years taken sides, the celebrity effect just does not apply. I also really liked what he said here, that a celebrity endorsing a candidate is much more likely to get people to change their minds about a celebrity than it is to change their mind about a candidate. That's a very good point, right? But you know what's worse? The anti-Trump liberals who would say anything just to get their people to see their skewed world worldview. Now, I mentioned earlier how in Chicago just a few days ago, local Democratic leaders stoked panic over claims that ICE agents had shown up at a local elementary school. More specifically, Chicago Public Schools Chief Education Officer Bogdana Chakabona claimed school staff had kept ICE agents outside the school. She said they will not coordinate with immigration and customs enforcement agents. Even worse, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker piled on without fact-checking anything. Instead, he just said that after a week of Republicans sowing their fear and chaos, the first reports of raids in Chicago are at an elementary school. And yeah, they later found out that there were actually no ICE agents at the school. They were Secret Service agents looking into a threat against a government official. So turns out J.B. Pritzker and his Democratic cohorts were just sowing fear and chaos all along. So you want to hear the truth about Trump's mass deportation campaign? Here it is from border czar Tom Homan. Watch.
Meanwhile, President Trump says Venezuela has agreed to take back tens of thousands of Venezuelans who've committed crimes and are living in America illegally, including the dangerous gang Tren de Aragua, as Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and ICE and border officials continue to arrest and deport dangerous illegal criminals, migrants from the country. Joining me now in the Sunday Morning Futures exclusive is the U.S. border czar, Tom Homan. Tom Homan is in an undisclosed location right now as he begins another operation. Thanks very much for being here, Tom. Can you assess your work so far?
Well, look, I looked at the numbers this morning, Maria. The crossings on the border are down 93%. 93%.
Wow.
That's a bigger decrease than under the first Trump administration. So, look, I said it. President Trump is a game changer. No one has had the success he's had on securing the border. He clearly understands we can't have strong national security if we don't have border security. We need to know who's coming in, what's coming in, where it's coming in, why it's coming in. And we have achieved a success on the border already. We got more work to do. And on top of that, as far as the deportation operation, we're just shy of, I think we got 5,000 already arrested the first week, and majority of them being criminals. The non-criminals, and the media's talking about, who are these non-criminals? The non-criminals are arrested in sanctuary cities because you force us into the community rather than arresting the bad guy in the jail. And when we find that criminal, he's most likely with others, and they're going to go too. So if you want to be a sanctuary city, you're going to get exactly what you don't want. More agents in the community and more non-criminals arrested.
I mean, who knew that protecting the border could be so easy when an administration actually cares about the border? Kind of like my uncle always says, welcome to the ICE age. Meanwhile, the anti-ICE protesters chose to block the freeway in LA. Check this out.
In Southern California, as protesters have blocked the 101 freeway, protesters around the immigration crackdown. I want to put this up, a post from the Los Angeles Times reporter Daniel Miller saying downtown LA protest demonstrators are now streaming onto the 101 freeway near City Hall, bringing Sunday afternoon traffic to a standstill. Other protesters are crowding overpasses where they are waving Mexican flags and holding signs. Another post says, you can see just the traffic stop saying, here's our first dispatch from the anti-Trump immigration protests in downtown LA. Thousands of demonstrators have come waving Mexican flags and signs. Some have walked onto the 101 freeway, halting traffic. You can see they're providing an update on this story as well. And you can see the smell of tire smoke hung in the air in the 101 freeway overpass. Trucks and motorcycles did noisy burnouts, drawing cheers and cameras. The vibes of this anti-Trump immigration protest remain positive as a large group of people protesting President Donald Trump's illegal immigration crackdown stormed the 101 freeway in downtown Los Angeles on Sunday, causing major delays for both sides of traffic in the area. The protest began around 9 a.m. There in downtown LA. Around half an hour later, the Los Angeles Police Department declared it, quote, a non-permitted demonstration and advised people to expect traffic delays. The crowd grew to a few thousand people who marched to City Hall before many walked onto the freeway near the Alameda Street exit shortly after noon. Video of the scene showed many carrying.
Now, it just kind of makes me wonder, how can you be so proud to be Mexican but not want to live in Mexico? Like, is that wrong for wondering that? Seriously. But do we hear about that from liberal media? No, sirree, Bob. Because see, for a long time, the left, with a big assist from the media, they have been bending the truth to paint Democrats as the heroes and anybody opposing them as outright villains. But they keep slipping up. Take, for instance, there was a piece recently in New York Magazine. They tried to label a Trump inauguration event organized by CJ Pearson from the GOP Youth Advisory Council, who, by the way, is black, as almost entirely white. But how? Turns out the sneaky magazine conveniently cropped out several non-white attendees out the cover photo. So is that what they mean when they talk about erasing minorities' lived experiences? Because sure seems like it. Then, of course, there's the media playing fast and loose with the facts. Remember in September when the New York Times basically ignored videos and eyewitness accounts about the Venezuelan Tren Aragua gang causing havoc in Aurora, Colorado? They spun it to fit their narrative with a headline that shrugged it off as how the false story of a gang takeover in Colorado reached Trump. Big oops here, because things got so serious, a local judge had to shut down one of the affected complexes due to the gang's threat to public safety after 14 members were arrested for kidnapping and torture. And now, under Trump's administration and direction, raids in New York managed to nab Tren Aragua gang leader Anderson Zambro Pacheco, caught on camera breaking into an apartment. But all these blunders, you would think that the Democrats and their media buddies would maybe tone down the spin just a little bit, but nah, they're not about that. They seem to enjoy wearing their misinformation as a badge of honor. Just look at Jim Acosta, who's finally being shown the door by CNN as they've realized constant anti-Trump rhetoric just doesn't pull the viewers anymore. His parting words? Don't give in to the lies. Don't give in to the fear. Hold on to the truth. Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. This is from a guy who said that the legitimate questions about Joe Biden's mental sharpness was a kind of birthism and falsely accused Trump of claiming a popular vote victory that he never claimed. Still, in their messed up worldview, Trump is the villain and they're the knights in shining armor. I'm just happy the rest of America is ready to move on from these silly stories, huh? Let me know if you guys are too. Drop a quick comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, there are some suggested videos that are about to pop up. Check them out. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button and sharing. See you next time.